Isang magandang Sabado po ng umaga sa ating lahat. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating Panginoon at nagising tayong muli sa isang umagang puno ng pag-asa. Unang Sabado po ng buwan ng Setyembre at alam natin ay malapit na yung mga panahon na tayo ay maraming handaan at salo-salo. So, dalangin ko na sa umagang ito ay kayo ay nasa malusog na pangangatawan at pag-iisip. Welcome po sa 1143 DZMR para po sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. Napapakinggan po tayo dito sa loob ng Sefton Village, Santiago City, at pwede din po kaming mapakinggan o mapanood sa Facebook Live or even YouTube. Ako po si Dr. Jennifer Gatiwan C., your program host, at samahan niyo po ako sa loob ng kalahating oras at pag-usapan natin ng isa na namang napapanahong usapin. At nasabi nga po natin kanina, bare months na, malapit na ang mga kainan at ang kadalasan ay after dyan ay tatapaas ang ating mga timbang. So maganda talaga na sa pagpasok ng bare months ay ang ating inaalala ngayon na tinatawag nating Obesity Prevention Awareness Week na kadaunang linggo ng buwan ng Setyembre. Ito ay naumpisahan po nung panahon ng ating former President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. Ayan. So, ano nga ba atong tinatawag na obesity or sabi nating obese? Ito po ba yung malusog, no? Yung mataba? Adalasan, yun ang term natin, no? So, when people hear the word obesity, yan, isipin natin, bulging bellies, o yun yung tinatawag nating love handles, no? Pumuputok ang ating mga waistline. And while those are also things of concern, they are only a small part of the problem. Yung outward appearance is just a small part. With obesity, madami pong mga issues, no? Maraming mga dangers that lies underneath the outward appearance, no? This could involve the person's health and well-being. So, even ang kanyang buong pagkatao. So, obesity ay isa po itong medical na kondisyon na nangyayari sa isang tao kung siya ay, of course, meron tinatawag na sobrang timbang at kasama na dun yung sobrang body fat, no, sa kanyang katawan na pwedeng maapektuhan ang kanyang kalusugan. Meron tayong tinatawag na measurement sa obesity or sa ating healthy weight calculator. Yung ano ba ang tinatawag na healthy na timbang. Ito yung tinatawag nating body mass index or BMI. Nada-download po yung calculator neto pero technically ito lang naman po yung pagkuha sa ating timbang, no? It's either in kilograms or pounds. Tapos i-divide po natin yan sa ating height in meters squared. Ibig sabihin, kunyari, if you are 5 feet, so 5 times 5 squared. So, pounds per feet squared or sa metric system, kilograms per height in meters squared. So, dapat alam po natin yon. So, pag nakuha natin ito, ito yung mako-compute natin, yung lalabas na numero doon, no, yung body mass index, dito natin makikita if you have a high body fatness. So pag ang nakalculate daw natin ay around 18 to 24.9, okay? So ikaw daw ay nandun sa tinatawag nating healthy weight. Okay? So between 18 to 24.9. Pag below 18, napakagaan mo naman. Kailangan mo magpataba. Since ang topic natin, it's about obesity, so ang minimum natin is 18. Pag umabot yung computation mo daw ng 25 up to 29.9, ikaw daw ay overweight na. At pag ikaw ay umabot sa 30 to 39.9, ikaw ay obese. So yan yung mga dapat nating malamang mga number. Pag ikaw naman ay umabot sa 40 pataas, ikaw ay nandun na sa category severely or morbidly obese, which is technically a form of malnutrition. So to put it simply, to simplify matters, ang obesity ay isa po siyang complex na sakit na nag-uumpisa or it involves an excessive and an unhealthy amount of body fats. This is based on the definition of the World Health Organization. So nasabi na natin kanina, it's a complex disease. So ano nga ba yung mga pwede mong maging sakit? Ano yung mga health risks ng isang taong obese? Obesity affects approximately 1 in 4 adults, isa sa 4 na tao, and 1 in 5 children aged 10 to 11. So that's around 20 to 25%. At pag nangyari daw ito, alam naman natin, lumalaki yung size ng tao, at yung mga serious health conditions na sumabay doon are mostly ay life-threatening. Buhay ang nakataya. Ito yung type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, at you are at risk for heart attack, stroke, cancer. So there are certain types of cancers that are linked to obesity. Siyempre, yung mga cancer sa yung digestive organs dahil sila yung sigurong overuse. No? So andito yung stomach, kidney, liver, pancreatic cancer. So anything that involves your digestive system. As well as the serious health conditions, no? Yun din daw tinatawag na mental health kasabay yun, no? Yung quality of life. So yung relationship mo with your family and friends can also be affected. Therefore, meron siyang tinatawag na psychological issues such as depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and obesity can also lead towards a number of day-to-day problem. Mga simple problem pag naglakad ka ng matagal, hinihingal ka na, no? Pawisin, mga joint pains, back pain. So limited ang iyong activity dahil mabilis kang mapagod. At alam ba natin na sabi natin kanina, no, 20 to 25%. Therefore, globally sa buong mundo, obesity affects 800 million individuals. So itong 800 million na katao na to, they are at least for yung mga sinabi nating mga sakit. At nung nakaraang taon, no, mga nakaraang taon, nung kasagsagan po ng pandemic, yung pong mga taong may tinatawag na comorbidity, kasama na dun yung obesity, sila yung mas matindi ang naging kaso nila o sakit nila with COVID-19. Sila yung mas tinamaan dahil nga yung kanilang sitwasyon ay nagpapababa ng kanilang immune system. So, obesity is no joke, okay? This is really an important thing to be aware of. So, obesity, which was once considered a problem primarily in high-income and developed countries, ibig sabihin mayamang bansa dahil wala silang problema sa kanilang kakainin, kayang-kaya nilang bilhin. Ngayon, pati daw yung mga mahihirap na bansa, low and middle income countries tulad ng ating bansa ay affected. There are around 27 million Filipinos that are overweight and obese. So, that's around 3 out of 10 Filipinos. That's 30%. So, mas mataas pa sa ating Philippine setup. This is based on the Department of Science and Technology's Food and Nutrition Research Institute. Sa World Health Organization, 3 out of 10. So, more or less the same. And for the past 2 decades, mula nung dalawang dekada, from the 1990s to the 2018, overweight and obesity among adults has almost doubled from 20.2% noong 1998, no, up to around 30% no 37% noong taong 2019. So nagdoble. And similarly, the prevalence rates of overweight and obesity among adolescents have more than doubled from around 4.9% noong 2003 to around 11.6% noong 2018 before the pandemic. And nung nag-lockdown, meron tayong tinatawag na quarantine peak. Baka nag-triple na. And if no action is taken, overall rates of overweight and obesity will continue to rise, and it is projected that more than 30% of Filipino adolescents will be overweight and obese pagdating daw ng taong 2030. This is a study made by the Landscape Analysis on Overweight and Obesity in Children, Philippines by the UNICEF. And for the general well-being of the populace and the country's economic productivity, this issue may likely cause many negative complications in the long run if left unchecked. Imagine nyo, yung mga darating na generation of adults, bata pa man, may mga sakit na silang diabetes. So, imbis na nakakatulong sila sa ekonomiya ng bansa, ay makakadagdag pa sila sa mga gastusin ng bansa dahil alagain sila. And before it reaches that point, some things must be done. And fortunately, obesity can be prevented. Pwede pong maiwasan. Meron po tayong mga government programs and initiatives at meron din tayong mga private institutions na tulad nito, DZMR, na nagbibigay kaalaman para tayo ay manatiling malusog. So, meron tayong mga ibang may share na health tips, okay? Unang-una, maintain a healthy diet. Ano ba tong healthy diet na sinasabi? A healthy diet is one that is able to maintain yung tinatawag nating energy balance to carry out everyday tasks and ensure proper functioning of our body. The relationship between the calories you take in through foods and drinks, so yun yung energy that you take in, tawag doon ay calorie, na may measure yun in terms of calorie. And the energy that you burn, na ginagamit mo, so imagine mo parang gasolina, through physical activity and basic functions, no? Nagbe-burn tayo kahit na ganito nagsasalita, pero hindi ganun kalakas, no? Yung tinatawag nating energy balance. So intake and output. Apart from energy balance, meron din tayong tinatawag, of course, a healthy diet na with regard sa mga kinakain natin. So, hindi lang yung basta, dapat balanse. Anong klase din ng pagkain na dapat kinakain natin? So, dapat yung mga nutrients are in the right amounts that are needed for our body to function normally. So, ano yung mga yon? To maintain a healthy diet, at least consume 400 grams of vegetables and fruits per day, excluding starchy roots. So, kaya ba natin almost half a kilo of vegetable and fruits per day? Yung iba nga ilang piraso lang, hirap na. No? Or isang pirasong saging, parang yung iba ayaw pa. No? And less than 10% of our total intake should not, our free sugar should not exceed 10%. Dapat less than 10% daw. At ano ba itong tinatawag nating free sugars? Okay? We all know we need to limit the sugar in our diet. Okay? But what exactly are the free sugars and how do we make sure that we do not consume too many sugar? So, free sugar is what we call any sugar na idinadagdag sa ating pagkain. O example, yung mga honey, no? Yung mga puting asukal na idinadagdag natin, yun ay tinatawag nating free sugar. These are free because they are not inside the cells of the food that we eat. Yung mga sugars found in fruit and vegetables and milk, no, don't seem to have a negative effect on our health, no? Pag kumain nga tayo ng sugar doon sa kunyari, kumain tayo ng saging, no? Together with the fiber that we eat, or kumain tayo ng mangga, may kasamang fibers yun and nutrients. Pero, kunyari, yung pakwan na binili mo, ginawa mo siyang pakwan juice. So, the sugars will come out of their cells and become free sugar. So, yung watermelon juice, na ginawa mo, wala na yung fiber doon, mas mabilis mo siyang makonsume, mas madami kang sugar na makakain. Kasi imagine mo yung isang buong pakwan, ginawa yung juice. Hindi mo naman kayang kainin yung buong pakwan, pero kaya mong inumin yung juice, di ba? Ayun. So, anong mangyayari doon? Yung sugar niya, mas madami kang madetake. At hindi yon healthy. So, it's better to eat it as our natural fruit rather than juicing them. So, juicing fruits is not really that healthy. Mas maganda pa din kinakain natin siya as is. So for FYI, additional information, adults and children over 11 should eat no more than 30 grams of free sugars a day. Ang tsokolate daw na kinakain natin, na standard chocolate bar, is equal to 25 grams of sugar. So, 5 grams na lang, lumampas ka na. Isang chocolate bar pa lang yon. Nagpabili ka ng fruit juice kay mommy, no? Ang isang 150 ml of fruit juice is equivalent to 12 grams of free sugar. So, lumampas ka na. Naisipan nyo pang mag-soft drinks. 330 ml of soft drinks is equivalent to 35 grams of free sugar. 30 lang ang dapat mo sa isang araw. So, yung isang soft drinks pa lang, lumampas ka na. So, no wonder, ang tumataas ang incidence of diabetes even in young children nowadays. Now, let's go to a healthy diet that consists of less than 30% of total energy intake from fats. Ayan. So, yung fats daw natin ay dapat less than 30%. Remember yung food pyramid? No? So, yung sa tip, dapat konti na lang doon. Sa less than 30% na yon, dapat yun daw, saturated fat should not exceed 10%. Yun daw, trans fats should not exceed 1%. Not even 1%. Nako, ang sama nun. Trans fats, yan po kasi yung mga process. Yan na yung nandun sa mga bacon. Nako, hindi ko maganda. Mga hindi natural na fat. Saturated fats, including a certain type of trans fats. Why? They're not healthy because pag lumamig, in room temperature, nagsosolidify sila, nagsesebo sila. So imagine mo, yung kinain mo, nagsebo sa loob ng katawan mo, yan na yung magkukos ng stroke or clogging, pagbabara. So they are not healthy. An example of saturated fats and trans fat, nasabi natin to ng mga nakaraan. Fatty meat, butter, cheese, no? Andun yun. Yung mga chocolate na milk chocolate, nandun. Mga margarine, they are not healthy. Pero yung mga unsaturated, the healthy fats na kahit in room temperature ay matubig pa rin, liquid, yan yung mga healthy. Mahahanap ito sa mga fats of your fish, yung sa bangus, no? Avocado na fruits, plant-based oils, your peanut butters o yung mga nuts and your seeds. They have what you call the healthy unsaturated fats. Doon mas pwede kang mag-take in. Pero you should not exceed 30% still. Another things that we should not, that we should limit is salt intake. Ang ating salt intake daw po ay less than 5 grams of salt a day o isang kutsarita lang. Kung malakas kang kumain ng chichirya. Alam ba ninyo na yung single serving of potato chips has 170 milligrams of sodium? So, doon pa lang ay mataas na yung sodium intake natin. Okay? So, kakain ka pa ng ulam na tuyo, tapos maghanap ka pa ng patis, ay ubos, masosobrahan ka pa din ng iyong sodium intake. So, yan ang healthy diet. Eat 3 regular meals a day with limited snacking. This will have a stronger effect on weight loss than even yung nag-exercise ka. So, sasabayan din natin. Okay? Foods that are high in sodium are pizza, bread rolls, processed meats, ayan na yung bacon, sausage, cold cuts, hot dog, chips, mga burgers, mga burritos, ayan, chicken nuggets, yan ay mga mataas na salt content. So kung yan ang mga madalas mong kainin, which are all in the fast food, nako, good luck ang iyong kidney. Okay? So stay active and exercise regularly. So this will burn fats even by yung pag-exercise, this will burn fat. And keep on walking, no? Yung mga everyday activities na ginagawa, huwag yung couch potato para mag-burn ka ng fat. And ensure proper hydration. So around 250 ml of fluid every 15 to 20 minutes daw of activity, umiinom tayo. Keep your weight in check. Monitor mo rin kung ikaw ay bumibigat or gumagaan para mas alam mo yung iyong dapat kainin. And be consistent. For a successful health and weight management, consistency is the key. If you exercise or eat healthily only from time to time, it will not make much of a difference. So, kailangan may commitment ka. Consistent ang iyong healthy lifestyle, hindi yung feel ko lang. Okay? So, alalahanin natin yung 10 commandments ng National Nutrition Council. Kumain ng iba't ibang pagkain na mataas sa nutrients. Sa ating mga babies, sa unang 6 na buwan, breastfeeding is best. At mula 6 months pataas, bigyan din sila ng ibang angkop na pagkain. Pwede na silang kumain ng mga ibang variety of food na pwede sa edad nila. Iba, nasabi na natin, kumain ng gulay at butas araw-araw, kumain ng isda, karne at iba pang pagkaing may protina. Ang ating gatas, lalo na sa mga kabataan, kailangan pa din nila yan dahil mayaman ito sa calcium for our bone development. Tiyaking malinis at ligtas ang ating pagkain at tubig. Baka naman mamaya makakuha ka ng mga waterborne or foodborne illnesses like typhoid and Hep A. Sa mga taong lalo na sa mountain province na hindi gaano kumakain ng mga isda dahil malayo sa dagat, gumamit po ng iodized salt para to prevent iodine deficiency disorders. So, hinay-hinay sa maalat at mamamantika, panatilihing mamonitor ang ating timbang, maging aktibo, iwasan ang mga bisyo tulad ng alak at sigarilyo. So, yun po ang 10 commandments. When regards to 10 commandments, alam niyo po ba na merong mga obese characters in the Bible nung unang panahon? I will just give you 2 of them. Yung isa po ay si King Eglon of Moabite King. No? Sa kanyang katabaan, no? Yung si Ehud na isang tagapasunod ng ating Panginoon. Yung Moab ay kalaban po yan ng mga Israelites. So, si King Eglon ay napatay ng isang Israelite, si Ehud. Okay? Sinaksak niya si Moab na sa sobrang taba niya ay hindi na niya nailabas pa yung kutsilyo sa tiyan niya. Ayun. So, ganun siya kataba. Hindi kutsilyo parang sword. So, nung ipinasok daw niya, hindi na niya nahila palabas. So, yun ang kinamatay ni King Eglon. The second case, okay, is the priest or the high priest Eli, who judged Israel for 40 years. Nung sa edad po niyang 98 years old, no, matandang-matanda na siya, nabubulag na siya, no, at siya ay dinescribe na mataba. Okay? Nasa kanyang pag-upo dun sa gate habang hinihintay niya yung balita kung nanalo ba sila against the Philistine, okay, ay nabalitaan niya na natalo sila. Dahil sa balitang yon, no, siguro nabigla siya, na-depressed, nahulog siya. He fell off the seat backward by the side of the gate, tumama yung leeg niya, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy. So, mataba. Okay? So, what can we learn from this story, itong dalawang to? What were the cause of their death? Nakita naman natin yung una si King Eglon. Siyempre, sinaksak siya, pero sa sobrang taba nga niya ay hindi pa nga natanggal. Pero mas pag-aralan natin si Eli. Isa po siyang high priest, tagasunod ng Panginoon. Pero meron siyang 2 anak na supposed to be priest, pero hindi sumusunod sa kautusan ng Panginoon, si Hophni at Phinehas, na yung dang mga alay, the sacrifice, kinakain pa daw nila. So, mukhang, although high priest ay medyo hindi sumunod sa kautusan ng Panginoon. At syempre, tataba nga si Eli. Pero sa kanyang pagtanda naman to. Okay, so, maraming dahilan kung bakit siya namatay. Old age, pero yung pagkakamatay niya, na natumba siya at na-break yung bone niya, which could also be secondary to obesity. Dahil alam niyo po ba na obesity sa mga matatanda ay isa to sa mga risk factors ng kanilang pagkamatay. Marami na po yung tinatawag na fall, accidental fall because na off balance. So, among adults, maintain still your weight to avoid falls and fractures kasi mas malilimita no ang inyong movement, and because of that syempre hindi ka na makagalaw, hindi mo na nagagawa yung dati mong gusto, madedepress ka, and mas mapapabilis yung buhay. Ayaw natin yun. So in conclusion, in the past, obesity was the sign of wealth and beauty. Alam niyo po ba yung mga sculptures noon ng mga tao? Like example, si Venus de Milo, medyo malulusog sila noon. So, hindi naman technically obese, pero I think, yeah, kung mataba ka, ibig sabihin marami kang extra, kaya yun ang beauty sa kanila. But ngayon, no, in contemporary times, obesity has reached its epidemic proportion and is related to various negative health effects and should be considered as a chronic disease that should be treated. So, hindi na siya on a positive way. Obesity is now treated as a disease. So, both ancient and contemporary patients deserve appropriate therapy to manage obesity. And preventing obesity may not be as simple as it sounds, but ultimately, alam natin kakayanin natin yan. It's worth all the effort and sacrifice. You just have to start doing it and stick to your goal. No? Note that when trying to lose weight, eating a healthy diet alone does not guarantee weight loss. Kailangan natin ng may physical activity, and physical activity alone cannot guarantee weight loss. Kailangan din natin ng healthy diet. So ano ba ang ating magiging motivations? Ayon sa 1 Corinthians 6:19 to 20, do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? For you were bought at a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So, hindi na natin totally pag-aari tong katawang to. Pag-aari tayo ng Panginoon. We were bought with a price, with the life of His Son. And God wants us to live a healthy life, but not at the expense of losing out a relationship with Him. Yung naging obsessed naman na tayo na buff. No? He wants us, no, to enjoy life, no, with mercy and steadfast love. At gusto natin na yung buhay natin sa ating pagtanda ay na-enjoy din natin. But we must love Him and keep His commandment first. So it is amazing what happens when you are in a growing relationship with God. So taking care of our body is a form of taking care of our relationship with God. Okay? Because we take care of His gift to us, the gift of life, the gift of health, and the gift of family. And with that kind of healthy mindset and perspective, alam natin pangangalagaan natin ang ating katawan na ibinigay ng Panginoong Diyos. So that's it po for today sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. Nawa sa sandaling panahon ay may naibigay po tayong linaw at mahalagang impormasyon tungkol sa ating paksa sa araw na to. Aking dalangin ay mamuhay tayo ng isang malusog na katawan at kaisipan. So abangan niyo po muli ako sa susunod na Sabado para muli sa ating programang Usapang Pangkalusugan. Dito lamang po sa 1143 DZMR, a proud member of KBP. Ating tandaan ng ating kalusugan ay kayamanang di mapapantayan. Happy weekend po sa ating lahat!